You better watch out. You better not cry. You better not call on Yoda's Jedi. The Empire is coming to town.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another exciting episode of Dawn of Defiance, the Star Wars Saga edition. We are in Season 2. When last we left our heroes, they had split the party into so many little parts. But because we're sort of doing a segue adventure, it's not like it's a dungeon and they're in immediate danger. I believe Frank Hamilton, playing Old Man Zinn Brawl, had committed theft. Fancied himself a nice coral reef-looking poncho. Used its natural environmental stimulus against the aquatic people and bolted out the store, leaving Dr. Leff high and dry, failing bureaucracy roles as he doesn't seem to understand why they're about to try and arrest him. Meanwhile, a couple blocks away, at a used ship lot, we have Ryan Messinian playing Merrick, the mercenary, right-hand man of Matt Witt, playing our fearless leader, Rahal Oberys, and they are doing the once-over on a ship that they are very interested in purchasing. A Githrock? Oh, crap. What is the name of that freighter? A Githrock freighter?
Githrock or Githrock? I don't know.
It's a Githrock.
Yeah, turtle ship.
It looks like a big sea turtle. And that's what makes it awesome. But wait. Wandering off on his own, being called by intuition, following his nose down a sewer, and digging his way into side tunnels, finding a natural cavernous formation deep under the city, filled with little ponds and pools of water that reflect light up from the bottom. Now maybe it's the swamp gas. Maybe we're about to have a force-induced vision quest for our young man, or maybe he is about to face a dark, spectral challenge alone. Poser, sham, Aiden, if that is your real name, because I really don't believe that Aiden Williams is his real name. I think he's been fooling us this entire time.
You caught me. It's Lucifer. Hi, everybody. I'm the devil.
When we left you, you were making your way to the far edge of the cavern. And you came across, what? A dark, inky, impenetrable wall? A abyssal hole that began to look immediately back at you? Or one of the larger ponds, whose visions were showing you kind of sucked into your attention and you began contemplating?
I think I had reached about halfway to 3/4 of the way through, until the noise from the ponds, started to get too loud for me to comprehend or to be able to handle. So I sat down, pulled out my guitar, and started strumming. And that did some weird, freaky light shows, and then everything went black.
Yes. The assault of voices and imagery, some from your past, you managed to quiet your mind and block them out. Strumming the guitar, you can sense the force-sensitive Kyber crystal. The force-sensitive Kyber crystal that you hold within. Shh. Just you and the DM in the darkness right now. It's okay that I said that out loud. Aiden,
yes.
As you sit there, allowing your mind to quiet, and the pools quiet around you, a very distinct, first you think it's just a dropping of water and moisture coming off of a stalactite hitting a random pool, but there is a sort of tap, 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 a very light, tiny splashing noise coming from one side towards you across the pools, and you realize it's almost as if something very, very tiny is running across the water.
Okay. I will slowly open my eyes and peer over at it.
Okay. You see a creature, barely a foot tall, with eyes on the end of eye stalks, a crustacean-like form, resembling something like an oversized shrimp or a small lobster. In the place of claws, it has little hands, but still on that sort of bric-a-brac armored carapace form. And out of the top of his head, a long flowing mane and a small sort of lobster tail that wobbles when he walks on his 6 legs, and it's touching and slapping the pool, and that's what's making the noise. This thing is standing there regarding you intelligently and freezes, innocently sort of like looking up and away, and doesn't move except for the eyes looking back at you, and then sort of like looking at a random direction. Just completely freezes when you look over it. What do you do?
Hello.
You! Who are you? What are you doing here?
I just wandered in here. Nobody.
You should not be here. Please leave.
A tiny little hand shoots across the room, tiny little fingers waggling towards the way you came in.
I would disagree. There is a reason I should be here. What it is, I'm not sure.
Again, I ask you, what are you doing here? You say you do not know. I tell you to leave, and you say you stay? Why?
Again, I'm not sure. I feel a calling to this place.
Suddenly the creature seems a little bit more interested, leaning in, begins wringing his little hands together.
So, you say you hear a voice. From where do you hear this voice?
The pools. And it's not an audible one. I hear it echoing through my mind, through my body.
You sound like you should not be here. These are things a crazy person would say. These are not things a normal person would come and tell me. Please, again, I say, you should leave.
Well, what kind of things would somebody come to tell you? Seeing as you're a keeper of this place, and you don't want normal people in here, why would people come visit you?
I am only here to save this place from those who would seek to destroy. I am the keeper of this cave, and anytime someone visits, I must inquire the correct reasons for such a thing. You say you hear a voice. I must be sure you hear the same voices I hear.
And with that, he scurries directly towards you, disappears behind you, and you don't feel him. It's not a creepy feeling, but suddenly he crawls up your back, and he's like peering over one shoulder, little eye stalk looking at you, and then around the other shoulder, an eye stalk looking at you, and he climbs up the top of your head, and he just kind of like Vulcan mind meld, like 2 little tiny hands just grip the top of your head, and he's got his eye stalks are closed. He just starts waggling back and forth and just kind of doing this little, he's not chanting or anything. He's just acting weird,
If you will stay here, I must make sure that you are accustomed to the strange sensations that you will be feeling.
He says with one little hand like calmly stroking your head.
How far down my head does he go? Because remember, I got a big fucking head. Okay.
He's perched on the top of your head. I know you got this big cranium. He's like perched on your head, looking around it like you're. Imagine a regular man wearing like a pylon, and he's at the top of it. Kind of not at the summit, but like right at the tip, peering around sideways and yelling, talking down at you, and doesn't hurt. Doesn't he grips you tightly, but it doesn't hurt. Doesn't feel weird. The fact until he starts stroking you, I guess that could be a little bit could be some bad touch.
I mean, I guess I'll accept and see where this goes.
Sometimes when we touch, the honesty is too much. All right. The ritual is complete.
I fed that line to Poser, but that was great, dude. You're picking this up quick. So he crawls back down and comes around in front of you And he's pointing at the pool that's directly in front of you.
What do you see when you look down into this pool at our feet?
Aiden, you look in and you don't see anything. Still a Mufasa line there.
Look harder.
I don't see anything in this pool. They're all dark at the moment.
Aha! As you should not see anything just yet.
He says remarkably, placing his little hands on his hips, waggling a finger at you.
And, why is that? Why should I be seeing nothing?
This is only a test to make sure that you are accustomed to the attunement of this cave. When you do not see anything here, we know what we are working with, and anything going forward will be a revelation.
Fair enough.
When you first entered the cave, Aiden, you found the pools all lighting up on their own and like feedback and distracting. Now everything's perfectly calm. It's just you and this little dude. Look into the pool, he says. You see nothing. And he seems happy with that, as if you're, on par of a neutral, like at a neutral level.
Yeah, I got you. Okay.
All right. Again, I want you to look down into the pool here. But this time, do not use your eyes. Look within.
Sounds like a force check to me, Aiden.
Yeah, it sounds like it does, Jeff.
Let's have it.
All right, use the force of 24.
All right. Sorry, 24?
Yep, 24.
Okay, you immediately reach out and feel how the room itself seems to reflect a force sensitivity in itself. You look into the pool and you see your own reflection. And then your own eyes seem to blink at you without you blinking. And you see your own face contemplating you. Tilts its head to one side and then the other.
Cue the DM's first dice drop.
That's right. What is your will defense?
I don't know. Give me a sec.
Officially going now. There we go.
My will defense is 17.
All right. You feel that falling sensation, tumbling down into the rabbit hole. And then you snap yourself out of it. You sort of lose yourself for a moment and you snap yourself out of it. As you sit there, contemplating the abyss, your comlink goes off on your belt, like you've got an incoming call.
Okay, I'll pick it up. I'll answer it.
It's saying that there's no signal. The indicator light, there's like no signal down here. Like, you get no bars on your television, on your cell phone.
Television,
right?
Yes.
Yeah,
I get no bars on my television, Jeff.
You're getting no bars. Work with me here. You're getting no bars on your comlink, and yet it's insistently ringing. Like you need to pick up.
Okay. Again, strange, but yeah, I guess I'll answer it.
Okay. A familiar voice comes through.
Hey, buddy, you there?
Yeah, Rahul. What's up?
Rahul? I don't know who that dude is. Sounds like a rather dashing chap, though. No, I hate to break it to you, pal, but you're talking to your conscience right now. And listen, I got a few friends that are going to be stopping by tonight, and I think it'd be in your best interest to pay attention to what they say. Your soul's in turmoil, and if you don't take care of this, kid, you're headed to a dark place.
Rahul, are you messing with me? Did Dr. Leth put you up to this? I know both of y'all are jokesters, and you each have, good one-liners occasionally, but this isn't a laughing matter. Stop messing with me. Is the doctor doing a new study? Like, is he trying to figure out what happens when you mess with someone's mind?
Listen, kid, I'm still not sure who you're talking to, or talking about. Let me put this into a simple phrase. Right now, you are talking to yourself. I am your conscience. Do you understand? You following me? And this Rahul person, as handsome as his name makes him sound, he has no bearing on this conversation whatsoever. Now, kid, listen. I'm here because you're in trouble. Your soul is in turmoil. And if you don't nip this in the bud, like I said earlier, you're headed.
For a very dark place.
Search your feelings, kid. You'll find out it's true.
And with that, the comm link cuts out. You still have no bars.
Well, that was strange. All right. Well, with that, I'm going to continue sitting here and meditating because it's all black right now. I'm still trying to figure everything out.
So, do you perhaps want to make a force roll and search your feelings?
Jeff, I'm not listening to some radio bullshit, dude. Come on. No, I'm going to... Our poser is going to continue to sit there and meditate.
They never listen. But then again, it'd be a very short episode if they did.
Indeed.
All right. A little while later, you look up, and the little creature has vanished. There's still the quiet of the room, the quiet of the pools. There's nothing here. But you sense something has changed. You feel as if you're, if possible, you just feel the oppression of all the weight of the water and the Earth's crust above you. You feel even deeper. You know exactly how many feet down you could guess under the city you are, but you have the sensation of being far, far deeper in the core of this planet than you actually are. The room seems exactly the same.
Yeah, I will. Seeing that I am still in the same place, but things feel different, I'm going to stand up and kind of do a 360. Just kind of look all around me, see if anything's changed.
Can I have a perception, or would you like a use the force in lieu of?
Let's do use the force in lieu of.
Okay. Searching with the force, looking in all those.
12.
12, okay. Look around. You don't see any boogeyman. Nothing seems to be hiding. But, beating a DC of 5, you do hear a light sort of coughing noise over on one wall.
Okay, hearing the cough, I will start moving towards it, navigating between the pools as I go.
Okay. Careful not to dip a foot, as it were. May I have, is it acrobatics or athletics in this?
Acrobatics.
Yep. It's a simple DC, but still, you are crossing a room.
It is scary. Oh, okay, 19.
19. Easily navigating the pools, kind of getting a feel for this place. You get close to one wall, and to your amazement, you cannot believe that secured to the wall with binders, drilled right into the stone, is none other than the separatist petty officer Vazas Mandrake. The man that gave you Merrick explosives, the man that spoke and translated for the Felucians for you back on Felucia, went native and stayed with them. Last time you saw him, he was at the village. And then you had that vision where the Imperials came and stomped the village flat. And now he's here. Softly coughing and looking like beat up, tortured shit. What do you do?
What?
Huh?
What?
Oh, jeez.
Mandrake, what happened to you? Why are you here?
If it isn't the Imperials, it's you freaks.
What are you talking about?
You know, we had a nice little thing going on here, the Felucians and me.
What? No.
And then you and your ragtag team showed up and ruined it all. Just gotta stir up the Empire.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking
What happened?
that you sold me down the river, didn't you?
Why would we have done that?
I'll shake the chains that are keeping... They probably don't use chains in Star Wars.
Binders.
I shake the binders. Yes, thank you. Oh, sure. Because this definitely wouldn't have happened if it wasn't for you guys.
We blew up the complex. We got out. Clean. No...
Well, good for you. But did you think about the Felucian lives that it cost? Did you think about my life that it cost?
Every day. Okay, there might have been some unforeseen consequences for our actions, but we didn't sell you out. We destroyed the base. We got who we were looking for, and we made, albeit a close but fairly clean getaway. We figured they would chase after us.
Listen, Hooser. You failed me, and I'm dead because of it. Just like your master's dead because of it, because you failed him too. Now I want you to look me in the eyes, while I still have them to look back at you, and tell me that you are a failure.
I'm not. We succeeded in the mission, and how do you even... What are you talking about with my master? Fuck.
I want to hear you say it.
Ah, bantha shit. Are you kidding me? Yes, I'm a failure. Is that really what you wanted to hear?
It's what I want you to hear.
Why?
Listen, Hooser. I've been watching you. I've been keeping a real close eye on you. While your allies are out there risking their necks for the safety of you all, you're sitting back being comfortable. You have potential that you're not living up to, and that's why you're a failure.
The reason why I don't use that potential is because it will get them and myself in so much worse shit that you can't even comprehend. Do you understand what the Empire, what these Inquisitors do to guys like me, to people that hang out with guys like me? Yeah, it may put them through shit if I'm not using my potential, but it is better for them in the long run if I don't.
Well, that's a nice story that you got there, Hooser. I'm glad that you and your pal of martyrs are out there doing the right thing and risking your lives. But look at the lives that you're leaving behind. Think about someone other than yourselves for once. You're gonna say that I can't rationalize what the Empire's capable of? Look at me. I'm stuck to a wall. This is how I'm gonna live the last moments of my life. And you wanna know something? It's 'cause of you, Hooser. You look at the Felusians that lost their lives, it's because of you. We had a nice little deal going on. You and your crew came by, and then they stirred up the damn Empire.
My name's Poser, not Hooser.
I know I'm hilarious.
And yes, I realize that my actions, or lack thereof, have consequences.
Poozer? But is it really? Is that really who you are, Hoser?
Yeah.
Well, you better just think about this little chat that we had, Hooser, before more people die for it. Live up to yourself.
The bindings begin to retract into the wall, and painfully, his arms get bent backwards behind him as his last words hit you, and he just sort of gets sucked into the dark wall and disappears.
Hey, you! What are you doing over there? You've been staring at that wall for several minutes.
Poser, Mandrake is gone, and the little creature's back, lecturing you from the center of the room, waving his hands in the air. What do you do?
I'll shake my head in frustration and confusion, and I guess start wandering back over to the little crustacean.
Come back over here, for we have not even begun.
Yeah. Alright. And Poser will start walking over.
Okay. Maybe you're just tired, Poser. Maybe there's swamp gas down here. You don't smell anything, but then again, they do say there is no scent in the most deadly of fumes. Of course, if the creature lives down here, it can't be that toxic.
True. Poser's dealt with worse. I mean, he's sat around Rahal and Merrick after they've had some...
Turkey sandwiches?
Yeah, exactly.
All right. So what do? Come back over to little dude?
Yep. I'll wander back over there and sit back down.
Okay. He nods and then takes a couple steps towards you like he wants to climb you again.
Let's keep the contact to a minimum this time.
Fine. If you will be stubborn, then we will continue, but it will not be the same. Now, I want you to come and look at this one over here. This pool is different. Maybe this one here will be the one to start.
Perhaps, yes. Let me try with that.
So you follow him over?
Yep, I do follow him over.
Okay. Have a seat. Cop a squat.
All right. Now, I want you to look here. But this time, same as last. Not with your eyes.
Alrighty. Use the force check of 14.
Okay. You look into the pool, and almost immediately, not only do you see yourself, but someone standing behind you, looming over top of you, as he likes to do from time to time. It's your ally, your companion, Merrick. But he's much smaller. Turning around, looking up to see him, he's actually jetpacking at the top of the room, making him look much smaller than his size actually is. Hovering above you, waving.
Poser!
Merrick, shouldn't you be with Rahal buying a ship?
Ron is overconfident. He can take care of himself. How are you doing, little brother?
Not the best at the moment.
It is as I thought. You need Merrick more than you know.
And why is that?
Because you need me.
I toss Sasha at him.
Catch Sasha!
I guess I'll dash to grab Sasha.
Yep. Have a dex check, or your get
Yeah.
under your own get underneath your own reflex. Hence, the higher it is, the better chance of you going whoop.
Yeah. So dex check?
Yep.
13.
It would be so fun if you fell or just went splosh and just appeared in a pool. Eric loses it. Yes, you full out flat and catch it just before it hits a pool of water, scraping your elbows.
Ah. And why did you drop your wonderful, wonderful female companion?
At this moment, Merrick lands directly beside him. Slaps him in the back.
This is why I like you, Poser. You are faster than you presume to be at times.
I pick Sasha up one hand and throw it back over my shoulder.
You often don't use what you have.
Oh, no. No, I already had this discussion. We ain't doing this again.
I merely meant the fact that I have never seen you move fast. You have only walked at all times that I have seen you. You ran this time to catch Sasha for me. Even when you go to sit down to play your guitar, perhaps if you ran to go sit your guitar, it would be a bit better. I even think that perhaps Askelet would be much enjoyed to know that he doesn't have to repair any of the holes that you gain, or could possibly gain, by not running to cover. But Askelet is not here. It is only Merrick and Poser. Ah! Ha 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 ha!
Big slap on the back.
You literally staggered forward, and it's all you could do, not to go face first in a pool.
Ah.
Yeah. I like you, Posersham.
Well, thank you, Merrick.
Yes. I have a feeling you appreciate life similar to as I appreciate life.
And I turn around and just kind of walk away from him.
He goes 10 feet and then suddenly spins around and takes on like a fighting sparring pose. Smiles at you and gives you the Neo, wave on, like, come at me. But even though his body language, and he looks serious, and the gloves go up like he wants to spar or something, he casually continues this lecture-ish type conversation. What do you do?
I guess I will raise the dukes and go into a hand-to-hand combat, but be open mindfully as well, since he seems like he has more to say.
You quickly eat dirt, and he continues to talk to you as you painfully, slowly come to and raise yourself up out of a random pool.
Why did you not focus on where I was going to be? You were looking where I was the entire time. You were looking where I was, and you were not looking where I am. You were focused on what was happening in the past. But now, Merrick is sitting on your chest. That is where you need to be.
He comes running at you and does like a big dog pile, and then
Stand up. I pick him up.
pops himself up, and even before you stand, grabs you and hoists you in the air, sopping wet.
Okay. Stay in the moment. Okay. I can do that.
Okay, you'll do very good, Poser. Very good. I put Poser down. Are you ready?
I brush off the hair, get the sand out of his hair, turn around, take one step away, and then I turn around and just spin on my heel and just, ha! Look out! My fist comes for your face! Punch him in the face. Ah!
Again, you eat the ground.
Oh.
Poser, I know sometimes I am exuberant when I fight, and I sometimes announce what I am doing before I do. Why did your face meet my fist?
I'm distracted. I'm focused on... I saw Mandrake.
Mandrake?
And I'm still... Yes, Mandrake. He gave you the explosives back on Felucia.
Ah, yes. I remember those explosives. All too well, unfortunately, as I remember Merrick armed explosives, Merrick disarmed explosives, Merrick armed explosives. But Mandrake was a good man. He was a soldier. He knew his place.
He starts crossing the room as he's jabbering onto himself, recalling his own past, and is now at the far end of the room. And as an afterthought, he just sort of reactivates his backpack and starts hovering in the air, about 40 feet away.
You should focus not on what has happened and who you have covered in the past. Where you need to focus on is right where your boots are. I am Merrick. I love Sasha. I take care of Ral. And I look after my other friends, who are soldiers. That is Merrick. Poser is sometimes Poser, not always Poser. Who is in those boots now? You should focus on who is in those boots right now. Rocket dive!
And then he actually like comes at you at a charge, and he actually has the missile, the Boba Fett missile, installed, and he comes right at you, and the freaking thing launches and hits you like 20 feet point blank, and all you could do is throw up your hands before you're vaporized. And then suddenly, instead of death, you feel a tapping on your foot, and a moment later you come to your senses and you're on the far side of the cave, way in the corner, and the little dude is like climbing up on your foot and smacking a random toe, trying to get you to come to.
You, again! What are you doing? You are over here staring at the wall again. I've been talking for 5 minutes. And then you just fall asleep in the middle of my speaking? Please, we must continue, for we have not even started. Come to the center of the room.
Ugh.
This is the last chance. If you screw this up, I will kick you out of this place and you will never come back.
Fair enough. Apologies. Let us try this again.
The apologies mean nothing. Let us go.
So you return to the center of the room, Poser?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Gentlemen, picture the scene. A young Padawan, saberless, masterless, and penniless, alone in an underground tunnel in the sewers of Aquarius, a domed city at the bottom of the ocean of this water world, seeks clarity, meditation. All he's found is a 1-foot annoying little French prawn, a whole bunch of puddles that keep showing him shit he doesn't want to remember, and phantoms coming out of the night consistently. Still, One more try. Aiden. Poser.
I will give it another go.
May I have a use the force
You
check?
may, Jeff.
Question I want to raise is he using the force or does the force use him?
I got a 13, and I'm not sure.
Yep. 13 is not strong enough. You are the force's bitch. So,
Well, hey, it's a give and take relationship, okay?
We'll save.
turn down the lights, gentlemen, for ambiance. Shit's gonna get real. The pool before you begins to stretch wider and wider and wider in every direction, under you in all directions. The cave walls fall away into darkness, and you land effortlessly upon a single plane of water. You can see the water, inky blackness below, no depth discernible, and no reflection this time. And then you hear not footsteps, but the shuffle of a low robe that is in constant contact with the water itself. You turn, you see a single figure approach. Ugly, horrible, a huge head cowled in the garish colors of coral. Brilliant oranges, yellows, sparkling moon-dancing sunfire reds, and every crayon color that graced an American muscle car in the 70s adorn this huge, bulbous figure shambling along, mound-like. The cowl hangs low, and you do not see the face of this figure. The figure silently approaches, and all you can hear is that shuffle rip on the water, getting slowly louder and louder and louder. The figure stops a mere 10 feet from you, but does not reveal himself to you. Only a draped, handless sleeve folds out and points ahead in a direction, then slowly beckons you to follow and begins walking forward. What do you do?
I will cock my head to the side a bit, raise an eyebrow, sigh, and follow along.
Closing on the figure, an ominous presence still wanting to keep some distance, still not sure of the identity, until this figure trips over his new garments, falls face flat down on the water, muttering and cursing underneath his robe.
God, son of a piece of shit, mother. Who put that there?
Pulling himself up, his hood thrown back, it is actually a figure resembling Zin, muttering, complaining to himself, looking back at you.
Yeah, it's me. Why wouldn't it be? Come on. I'm supposed to show you something. Come on, this way. Just before the end.
All right.
Zin turns and continues pace, grasping the front of his ghillie suit type robe and hoisting it up daintily, showing his boots in sort of Three Little Girls from School as he sort of double steps ahead. Now he's sort of getting away from you. He puts distance between you. What do you do?
I will start to hurry to catch up.
The faster you go, the faster this cabaret dress up the front is running, dancing along in front of you, and he just gets smaller and smaller and smaller in the distance. At a full run, you don't want to lose him. This plain of nothingness with the creepy black water. Finally, the figure stops ahead of you. Almost a pinpoint on the horizon, concentrating on it, running like mad. Several moments, maybe minutes, maybe hours pass, and you finally catch up to him completely out of breath.
What was that?
Nothing. I just wanted to see if I could run in this new suit.
Fan-freaking-tastic.
Come on, it's not much farther.
Of course it isn't.
Keep up this time.
He motions again, with a sleeveless hand, and you look towards the horizon, but there's actually something there in the inky blackness this time. You walk towards what looks like a blast door, supporting itself. No frame, no walls, just a blast door. Old Man Zen takes you right to it. Goes to point, stops, motions for you to wait a minute, puts his cowl back up all death and sickly like, pulls his hand back in, and then, ominously points at it.
You got to maintain appearance.
What do you do, poser?
I will continue along.
You go towards the door and have to stop abruptly. They don't open for you. Your coral ghillie suit buddy just kind of shrugs and goes and starts searching the side for, some kind of panel, which there is not because there's no frame, and looks back at you and just kind of shrugs.
You think you could step around these things, but it's not how it works.
I guess I'll give it a knock. And then look back at Zen and be like, well, you're really helpful.
The sound of your hand on the door you think would echo loudly, quite muted, and then you realize there actually is no sound as it's Old Man Zin sort of whacking the butt of his rifle a couple times to make sound effects. Does not seem to care that you're there, does not seem to respond to your knocking, poser. What do you do?
I'm gonna give it a push.
All right, strength check.
Yeah, 4.
I just kind of look at him. Really? You're not even trying. We're going to be here all day.
Well, it's just kind of like it's a force vision. He's a force user, and he throws himself the door and tries to heave it open. Right? It's like Frank's like, really? You doing this?
As he's kind of doing that, I'll start patting my chest and patting down like I'm looking for something, and then hold up a hand that's got just the pin with no grenade. Oh, we should probably hurry.
All right, I guess I will try using the force to open the door.
Go right ahead.
12.
It slowly creaks inches. It's not moving very quickly, but it is moving. And then, as if encouraged, like those doors at a shopping mart. Funny story, I was listening to an interview with Mark Hamill himself, and they were talking about what he does, and he says he still goes up to grocery stores and makes the Jedi gesture for the automatic doors and walks in so that people actually see Luke Skywalker opening the doors.
That's awesome.
I lost my shit. I spilled tea everywhere watching that interview. It was great. It was,
you seem to spill tea a lot. Maybe you need some help, Jeff.
Shaky hands.
He's got a drinking problem.
Like shaky hands.
I have a drinking problem. One mouth and 2 hands.
The door begins to creak and move slowly, and then sort of as if you convince the engine that it's in open mode, it opens quite readily on its own. That diamond pattern hole forming in its center as a heavy blast door slides open and reveals a room. Not a lot of features. Dull floor, dull table. But the man standing in the center of it, over the table, that lab coat, that white hair, unmistakable. You step through, and instead of Old Man Zin following you, the blast doors slam shut, and you hear the faintest echo of an explosion.
Found it! Oh.
There are people in the room. You can't see their faces, all is lost in shadow, but about half a dozen men or women stand around, all sort of lingering on less words. He's muttering. Can't quite make it out. You'd have to get closer.
I will move closer to see what he's saying.
It's always pride, isn't it? Pride. Oh, I managed to succeed at saving these peasants. Oh, I managed to steal a ship. Oh, I managed to get myself cut in half. It's always pride. If they tell me more, then I can help them more. Of course, it was never that way with you, was it? Always the secrets. And the very first day I met you, I believe there was some comment about a stone or something. I was just trying to help. I figured I could help you figure out. If you're interested in geology, then I'd certainly have many books, but apparently not.
He gently lays a hand, 2 fingers on his shoulder tips, and then flirts them away.
It's always the same, though. Every one of them, really. But always you. What was inside that conical head of yours?
I guess you don't mind if I have a look now, eh? Ha ha. I'm six joking.
Syrians. You tend to be quite a proud race, don't you? I suppose it did come in your nature. Nevertheless, you didn't strike me as one that would let themselves be guided by such common practices. But nevertheless, it is a shame.
As the doctor makes these observations to himself, you draw nearer and nearer, practically convinced he's talking about you. But the man on the table is covered. You need to get right in close to see his face. Sure, the shape of the head is conical, but there's something off. There's something unrecognizable about the body in front of you, though Dr. Leth is stating it's Syrian.
Okay. In that case, yeah, I'll move up and get a closer look. If I need to, remove the sheet.
You get closer, expecting the worst, expecting your own face behind a mask, perhaps, amber eyes, perhaps even the worst case scenario of red and black tattooed, that you'd gone down a dark path and it's written on your face and led to your death. Or perhaps you died peacefully, saving others. You don't know. But what is apparent is that horrible 1990s nose ring and lip piercing that you wouldn't be caught dead with, whether you're a fake rocker or a real one. It's just, it freaks you right out, man. It's horrible. You cover up, you can't move. You were expecting glowing eyes, weren't you?
Kinda, yeah.
Oh, it's you. You're dead. And you don't look good, man. You look like shit. Scarred. Trying to look even nastier. You don't even look peaceful. You just got that weird look on your face like, what? I'm dead? You get the horrible fuck face. Just terrible. Somewhere frozen in fear and anger looking back at you. But that god-awful pearl yellow and iridescent blue. I mean, it's not even metal. Those piercing rods staring back at you. It's too much for you to take. Suddenly, the room falls away. Leth, the table, your own body just falls away, and you find yourself sort of propelled backward through the blast door. The door slams shut in front of you. You look left and right. There's tattered shreds of an incinerated ghillie suit next to the door.
Oh, I'll seeing the ghillie suit, and I'll bend down and examine it.
You pull it back, and in the water, you see, just under the water, you see what looks like a window for like a ship, and you can see directly through the ship, and there's a control panel, and it's signaling warning quite brightly, like a station that somebody should be manning. And beyond the panel, all looking away from the door, away from the panel, is your friends, and they're arguing over something. And that light, it's a collision light for a ship. It's a deflector shield drained. It's something, but it's really, really bad news. You know it. What do you do?
I'm going to start banging on the window and yelling.
You surprised, but happily, that your fist goes into the water an inch and makes contact with what feels like a real window. Though splashing around from your motions, it does make a banging noise. But the party is arguing in a good 20, 30 feet away. They don't seem to hear you. More and more frantically, you start banging on this window, start clawing at it, start realizing that when this thing stops flashing, it's going to be their end. Suddenly, you're back in the cave, Prawn shaking at you, yelling at you. Okay. Floundering in knee-deep water now. It's shin-deep water and almost knee-deep water now, flailing towards the door. You stumble towards the entrance. The echoes of the little creature growing louder and louder in your ear, and you hear a rushing of water outside in the sewer, like someone had opened a sluice gate. You hear a very loud roar of water coming from one end. What do you do?
And there's water rising all around me and behind me.
There's water behind you, rising. You're in a short passageway that's trickling out, and you come to the sewer, which is like a left or right, and down to the left, the way you came in, you hear a massive roar of water rushing towards you. What do you do?
I'm gonna run right. This is overkill, you son of a womp rat! You Wookie comb! You Sleemo!
That's good. No, I'm going with Wookie comb. That's awesome.
Okay.
That's great. Okay. You start barreling down the other way down the sewer?
Yeah. I am hauling ass.
Athletics. A skill challenge is upon you, sir. I need 3 successes before 2 failures out of 5.
There isn't an athletics ability.
Oh, acrobatics?
Yeah, there's acrobatics. Yeah. So, let's do that.
Now, some may argue a flat-out run doesn't reflect that, but because you're in a broken-down sewer system with all kinds of obstacles, you are, trying not to trip stones. The water, which is in this area, is rising rapidly, slowly, but there's that rage coming as you run down.
Yeah. Okay, so first one was an 18.
Okay.
Second one was a natural 1 for a 3.
Oh, our first failure. Can I have a perception or force check? You realize as you stumble that you need to find an exit. Just running the gauntlet is not going to be enough.
Use the force check. Going out. 26.
It's a bit of a long shot, but you're pretty sure you remember that when you get to the T intersection, which is coming up, directly above it, if you can get to the back wall and climb up, there'll be like a manhole.
Yeah. Okay.
Not to mention it might buy you some time because when it hits that wall, the water will divert left and right before it rises. But the wave could pick you up, could splash up that wall, grab you, and suck you in undertow, and you're done.
Yeah. All right.
Check number 3, please.
18.
Good. Getting there. 2 successes, 1 failure.
Yeah, but it's a natural 1, so I think it counts as 2 failures.
No. Not this.
Oh, okay.
I need 2 more yeses without a no.
I got a 6.
Oh, dude. You stumble and fall, and the water overtakes you, and now you're being pushed and throttled and bumped all the way down.
Force point.
Do you want to use a force point to bump that 6, or do you want to start? Now, you're not done in yet. This is where we get into swimming checks that are really nasty. We get you into maybe using the force to pull your ass of the water, telekinetically grab, the heroic thing. But a regular person would be
boned.
Yeah, boned. Yeah. Galactically boned.
Yeah. No, Poser is still gonna try and ride this out. He's gonna swim for it, try and make it to the ladder.
You're going to go with the flow.
Exactly. Like the Force, let it flow with me.
All right.
Wait, you do realize this is a sewer tunnel?
I realize.
It's a crazy idea, but it's just crazy enough to work.
That's not water.
Let the shit flow through me. Yeah, I know. I know, Mary.
Oh, dude, you're going to stink a long mile when you get out of here.
14 swim check.
14 swim check? Would you like to use a force point?
DC is 15, isn't it?
Yep. Maybe even 20.
All right. Yeah, sure. Force point. Let's go for it.
Okay, D6, or do you get 2 at this level?
D6, I believe. I got a 5, so it bumps me up to a 19.
All right. You don't manage to, with a 19, you don't manage to get on target, but you do manage to keep it from pushing you under. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're riding it. You're floundering around, but you're up ahead, you're breathing, and you're going where you want to go. You're not lined up for the ladder yet, but at least with a 19, you're not getting sucked under and taking damage and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay?
You don't die in poop.
You don't die in poop. That's Merrick's biggest fear. Ghost hallucination Merrick back at the cave shudders.
No, the angel appears on one shoulder and then the devil, and it's both Merrick, just in a red and a white outfit.
That's what I wanted to do if I had more players tonight. I was even going to have, like a back and forth, not just Ghost
Like
of
a
Christmas
Doctor
Past,
and
but sort of
Brawl.
yeah, exactly, right? Well, actually, I was going to have Leth be like the present with Merrick, and like Leth is like, what is it now? Like his staple line, and just doesn't want to deal with you and disappears. Call me was really important, so it just leaves you with the wisdom of Merrick, which is kind of brutal. But I didn't have enough big enough cast for that, and I was really hoping that Alex could pull off this prawn, which he's doing very well, by the way.
Very much so. Good job.
Okay,
Alex.
okay. So,
Right.
static, panic, swimming. Oh my God! Can I have another swim check? Because now you are getting pushed along, and like I said, your target, that T intersection, is rapidly closing on you.
Yeah.
So you try to stay aloft.
All right. 19.
Well, we already know the results of 19. So do you want to continue your situation or improve it?
Use a force point.
How many you got left? Burn those force points.
I got 4 left after this. That's a 3 that bumps me to
little swim.
22.
Can't wait to we'll have immediate combat for you waiting on the surface.
Yeah,
You'll have nothing.
I hate you, Jeff.
What'd you get?
I got a 3, so it bumps me up to 22.
Okay. You ride the wave, using the force, pulling luck out of your... But there's no such thing as luck, as some Jedi might say. You manage to swim hard sideways in the current and let it push you so that you stay heading towards that back wall, and you hit it hard, and you take 5 points of falling damage, where like as if you're hitting, as if you know what I'm saying, the big smack. You take 5 points of damage. Can I immediately have a it's not a reflex save, so it would be for you like trying to catch the ladder. I guess a climb check, emergency climb check.
All right. Yeah.
Unless you have a force power that can fake this.
I move object, but it's really the only thing.
Can you move yourself?
He can be an object at sometimes, depending on the opinion.
Let me look up the rules. I got it saved on my phone. I don't think so, though. I do not think I can.
I was picturing like a bunch of rungs and one's broken, and you just bend it out so you can reach it, pull yourself up.
Oh, we could do that.
So, yeah, but if you can't pull the pounds to bend a crowbar, which is like a big strength, you know what I mean? Because it's always like, move object, little points.
What if he moves enough pile of dookies together to give himself purchase?
They're soggy dookies. It's more like soup.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, so there's a lot of chili flying around.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I like the way you think, and thank you for the visual as you get pelted. Slamming against the wall and pelted with what happens after people eat a lot of chili.
Okay, so I can telekinetically move an object up to 6 squares in any direction. Target is one character or object within 6 squares. Result of my check determines maximum size. If I make a DC 15, I can move object up to medium size.
Okay. Well, that would be you.
Yeah.
Okay. So this, you slam against the wall, and the rush of water pins you there, and you begin drowning because it's like swooshing up the wall.
Yeah.
You need to sort of slide along the wall, so you can do a crazy DC 20 or 25 climb check, or you could use the force with a significant DC lower of 15 just to sort of inch your way over and grab those rungs that you know are there.
Yeah. Let's do the use the force check.
Okay. First, I want a perception check because you are blinded by the water that's pinning you here.
Fair enough.
You're going to begin drowning right now.
All right.
It's very exciting. This is the most dangerous poop I've ever encountered.
Perception check of 12.
Okay. You hope you remember where it is because you're just so disoriented at this point.
Yeah.
You just hope that if you crawl along that wall, you'll find it.
All right. And use the force
and climb
check
or use force?
of 19.
19 gets it by 4. Now, you know how you can up force checks like at 5 and 5 and 5 and do better things?
Yeah.
Is there any significance to adding that proverbial force point and making it 20?
Move object up to large size, and if I hurl myself at something, I can do up to 4d6 instead of 2d6 damage.
Okay.
So no, there's no reason to bump me up.
So digging deep, holding your breath, and pushing yourself up, you grab a rung. But the onslaught of water is at the level of you, and you must literally, continue to float using the rungs as a guide or climb up rapidly to get above the water that's slooshing right up and just completely covered you.
All right. So, okay. Going to... Shoot, I only have one of those.
One of what?
Move objects. Because remember, it's a suite. Yep. I can only use the force.
Yep, so you got to use it again. Sorry, I thought you had it more than once. Or I guess we're down to climb checks. Now,
we're down to climb
a climb
checks.
check on a wall with a ladder is insanely easy. It's like 5. What you're doing is you're pulling yourself up from trying to be knocked off. Yes, you cannot take 10. This is dangerous. I don't want to hear it, Messina. So what that ups the DC greatly.
Yeah.
So can I have a climb check, sir?
Climb check.
You don't have to go very far.
I realize.
Luckily,
that,
the water slammed you at 10 feet off the ground. There's so much water. You're already floating at you're almost...
Yeah. Climb check 14.
Okay. Would you like to burn a force point?
You
It's 15, man. Come on. Look at Connor nodding away. I've had no disagreement from our Shadowrun DM. I've asked him to record his game, but he needs private time.
Fine. I'll burn another force point.
3! Look at that, Messina. This is some epic shit he's in right now.
I got a 6.
6. All right.
It bumps me up to 20
Dragging
on a climb
yourself
check.
covered in sewage, you get to a manhole. Can I have a strength check or a move object or something, because this thing has not been open for a long time?
All right, strength
The
check.
water dangerously rising and below
14.
No, he blows a destiny point, and the whole manhole cover explodes into 5
I'm
feet.
not blowing a destiny
I figured
point
he
for
would
this
pull that
bullshit.
destiny early. It's like, it is not my destiny for me to drown him in shit. Oh, yes, it is. Alex, would you like to use the character keeper's destiny to, end this little shit? I mean, he did disrespect you and your play.
I don't know what a destiny is.
That's okay. You're not a named character. You don't have destiny points, but, it was an option. Aiden's not very happy with me right now. I'm digging deep. All right, Aiden. Come on, let's go, buddy.
I got a strength check of 14. Let me guess. Do you want to burn a force point?
Sorry, man. You keep missing it by 1. At least the lowest you can roll at a D6 and a force point is 1. So, there's no, there's no drama of, burning a force point for nothing. They've all gotten results as I tick them away rapidly.
Yeah, well, okay. Can we go into the hypothetical? What happens if I don't? Let me guess. I'm going to have to make either a strength check or a climb check to hold on while the water's pulling me down, which I'm going to miss by 1, which will require...
No, you're pretty good. You're up this tube now. You've climbed up into the ceiling.
Okay.
Right, so you're in a small 5-foot shaft, which is the ceiling, right?
Yeah.
And the water slooshes up and whatever, you're covered in shit, and you don't know how much water's coming behind you, but you can hang on a while. It's just a matter of, is this water level going to rise enough to drown you?
Okay. Well, if it isn't drowning me at the moment, then I'm not going to burn a force point, because if I need some of those, so I'm going to make another strength check.
Yeah, please.
Curse out Jeff again, please.
No. The part about burning a force point from the beginning, please. Cursing optional.
Jeff, with me, cursing is never optional. Especially when it comes to you screwing me over. But
just curse in Star Wars lingo. That's all I ask.
Dude, I've not watched Star Wars in a while. I can't think of anything at the moment.
That is your homework. You're going to come at me, you poser. I want real lore and lingo, man. I got to hold down lore and backstory for 4 podcasts. You can learn to swear in Galactic Basic for me. Anyway, Messina's making, send that email to all of us, man.
Yeah, we'll get home and bantha shit. Okay, all right. Well, if the water is not immediately going to pull me down or is, drowning me, I'm going to hold off on using the force point, Jeff, because I only got 3
Can I
of
have
those
a
left.
strength check, but it's relatively easy. It's only like a 5 or 10 to cling to this ladder as the shit levels are rising up towards your nostrils, which unluckily for you and your periscope head are not at the top. It's, you have a face with a regular nose.
Yeah, I got a non-natural 20.
Okay, you're good for the moment.
And another strength check on the manhole. I got a 7.
No.
All right.
The water continues to rush and batter, and yes, it is splitting or whatever, but there's so much force and it's coming right up the wall or whatever. You are unable to tell up in your tiny little shaft because the water is sort of capped at the bottom of your shaft.
Yeah.
If it's going to go down anytime soon.
Okay.
At this point, I can tell you it is up to your waist in here. Like you are cramped quarters trying to push your way out.
Okay. I'll want to push again.
Okay.
Got another 7.
Water starts rising. It's up to your chest. Dig deep. Let's get that another force. You don't have that. What have you got? Have you got anything? Can you attack this thing?
I did not take the Goku ball.
What have you got? Normally, now guys, Alex, just so you know, normally I do not spoon feed these guys how to play this shit. It's been so long since we did Star Wars.
Yeah, Jeff has never tried to kill me in a side quest before, huh?
Nope, not me.
Yeah, not at all. Okay, so for force powers, I have Mind Shard, which isn't going to do anything. Sewer Great doesn't have a mind that I can, explode and make them bleed. I can't really inspire myself because that's just like a will DC increase or will defense increase. I can't really foresee the Great coming off. I mean, I guess I could predict in the future some worker coming by lifting the Great and just seeing my corpse there, covered in shit, just still holding on. I have Rebuke, which isn't going to really work. That's all vital, or that's all force powers, rebuking. I can't vital transfer, and I can't mind trick it. The only thing I have left is Force Grip, aka Force Choke. I don't think that would work on a Great, but I'm not positive.
Well, what did Lord Vader do to all that equipment after he said no?
That's continuation of move object, like you want to crush something, right?
Well,
I thought that was just force choking every object within like a 20-foot radius.
Yeah, description says use the force to choke or crush your enemies. Target is one target within 6 squares or within line of sight. I would assume that just means people, because I think it would have specified object if you could use on an object.
Matter of physics. You're moving an object, but if you're moving someone's trachea closer...
I guess?
Yeah, it's move object. Force choke is move object. Because I take this side of your trachea, and I take this side of your trachea, and I move them closer together, you don't breathe.
I guess that's kind of fair.
But the fact is that you're ending a life on it. That's what makes it not cool. That's why actually canon with this Star Wars saga, Force Choke isn't dark side because it's move object. That's my theory on it.
I mean, I'm cool with that, but I guess it's all about convincing Jeff that.
Well,
I mean, I guess technically,
Connor, can you weigh in? Yeah.
I mean, if you really want to choke somebody, you gotta get a triangle, right? Just get some pressure here, get some pressure here, get some pressure down.
That's moving an object, correct?
And to answer Ryan, I guess it really depends on who you're asking, right? What their opinions are.
So, Jeff, we have a conundrum.
Yeah.
So there's two force suite powers. One's called move object, one is called force choke. Both of them are neither light nor dark powers. I propose that force choke is just a really specific version of move object.
Okay. Destiny Point, instantly return a card to your suite. Move object. It's a small object. Easy peasy. Use your guitar as leverage. 2 very easy options.
Yeah, I guess the guitar's leverage would make sense.
I give you a +2 for using for a crowbar, but you're gonna fuck up your guitar.
I can fix it. I'm a mechanic, so.
But I'm pretty sure there is a force point. Like before we get into not that I don't want to explore Messina's idea, because this will come up in the future. But the easy way that's already built in is I'm pretty sure you can use a destiny point or a force point to return a power to your suite and immediately use it.
Yeah. Let me look up force points, I guess.
You want to start off with the crowbar idea?
Yeah.
How many drinks have you had tonight, Jeff?
This is like a full pot of tea.
The correct answer was 1.
Oh wait, no,
enough. 2. A&W, thief.
And I started with my little one. Tea and water gets me through my day.
I'm not seeing anything with force points. It might be under destiny points. I'm not spending a destiny point on this shit.
You already covered in shit. It's too late.
I'm not wasting a destiny point.
Did I mention that the water level did go from waist to chest level?
Yeah, you did.
I'm going to ask, what is it worth to not die in a lake of poop?
It could be worse.
I mean, you're wrong, Ryan. But I don't want to admit that you're right.
And it's warm.
I'm just throwing it out there. I'm like, hey, you know what? I sell character. Sell it. That's how you do you. Do you.
No, it's okay. This is great Pathfinder content. I'm sorry, this isn't Pathfinder.
Anyway, let's drown this fucker in shit. So, Aiden.
Well, I'm actually looking at what Destiny points can be spent on.
It's not my destiny to, I don't have to break destiny to get out of here. No, it's not. Just if you'd roll better, but you're not rolling better. So what's it going to be?
No, I'm not.
What's it going to be?
Better. All right, I'm gonna give it one more.
Oh, sorry. Give him a vision. Give him a vision, DM. He's gotten so much advice.
We had a cave full of visions.
I know, but have someone standing on his shoulder, not one of the people he saw. But like one of his other, like, imply that he gets a vision from either Ascaleth or
You could do the Felucian guy.
Or Matt.
Hey,
what are you doing? What are you doing? You hanging out in a river of shit? Are you seriously? Are you seriously hanging out in a river of shit? And you're gonna pop the slit and you're gonna go back and say hi to me? Are you fucking kidding me? Seriously? Pop the slit, hop a shower. Don't tell me this fucking never happened.
We have a Death Star, we tested it twice, tracking down rebels and ending their lives. The Empire is coming to town.
I have a very bad feeling